Hello everyone. Yeah. Are you guys here at all? So basically this is the last day for my, for the English week. I hope that we're gonna end this week with the good night's sleep, I guess. I don't know how to explain properly in English, but hello everyone. Hello my little Nada. Hello Ing, right? Hello Stem. Hello, hi. Welcome to the last day of the English week, and we're gonna end the week with the storytelling. Yeah.มาถึงใจตรงกับนี่แล้วอ๋อ I mean you're gonna go to sleep, right? Sweet dream, nah? Stem, yeah. I speak English again because this is basically still the English week, and this is the last day. So from after this week, I'm gonna start speaking in Thai. Yeah. Hello, Ing Susuran. Hello. Welcome to my nighttime story. Yeah, English week iguzo. Yeah, English week iguzo. So I have a couple of the story for tonight. So I hope you guys gonna enjoy my crappy English. Basically, hello Laxika. Hello. Welcome to my English stream. This is the last day. This is basically the last day of the English week. So I hope you guys gonna have a good night. Yeah. คิดทวงภาษาไทย next week. But for now, we're gonna stick with English. You're just so demanding, Stam. Moi. That's all you get. Why you guys are so demanding, by the way? Asking for this, asking for that. But I don't blame you guys. If you guys have a good time, then I have a good time too. I'm chilling with a cup of cocoa. Oh, I mean, I like cocoa also if it done right. But most of the time I enjoy my Coca-Cola basically. Machine. I love chocolate. I mean, if it in some form of like a drink, like a Ovaltine or like hot cocoa, I think I enjoy the chocolate in form of like a drink, a hot drink basically. I like your Thai speaking voice better. Yeah. I like my Thai better because I'm not used to speaking in English basically. I want to improve my English, so this week I dedicate myself to speak in English more. Yeah. He want to talk. The first feeling to speak English. But I mean, if you guys, want to, improve English also, I think it's yeah. Now I forgot what to say. But basically, I want to, as I told earlier at the last stream that I had, that I want to improve my English. So every now and then, I plan like every week. Every week I'm gonna have like one stream that I'm gonna speak entirely in English. Yeah, this is my first time looking at this channel. It's so good. Oh, thank you by the way. ขอบคุณนะครับที่ชอบ channel ของ Kaen นะขอบคุณนะ It's so good. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna begin practicing my storytelling. Yeah. อันนี้3 วันแล้วนะตาม Basically this is the last day. If you miss my Thai next week, we're gonna see me in Thai version. Okay. The story that I'm gonna practice reading in English, the first story is the ugly duckling story. We're gonna start with some good vibe. Good with a story with a good vibe. Yeah. The ugly duckling. Yeah. Do you guys are you guys familiar with this story? Comfy reading ASMR, let's go. Yeah. I always want to have like a ASMR. So if you guys like this sort of like this kind of stream, yeah, then you guys let me know. I may do this kind of streams more. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start reading now, and for those who want to read alongside me, this is the link. You can also click this link and read for yourself if you want to, or if you want to practice along the way with me. It's okay. On a farm long ago, a mama duck sat on her nest. How long must I wait for my babies to hatch? She said. I have to sit here alone and no one comes to visit me. But what could she do? A mama duck must keep her eggs warm till they hatch. At last, the eggs began to crack, one by one. Yellow duckling stepped out of their shells. They shook their wings and said, "Quack, quack." "Look at all of you," said Mama Duck with joy. "You are all so cute." "Quack, quack," they said. Mama Duck said, "Come and line up. We will go down to the lake for your very first swim." She counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. "Oh dear," she said. I should have 6 ducklings." But one large egg was still in the nest. "Well," said Mama Duck, "it looks like that big egg will take more time." So she had to go sit on her nest again and wait some more. The next day, The big egg started to hatch. Out came a baby boy bird. But if one may say so, it was an odd-looking thing. This bird was much bigger than others. He was not yellow at all. He was dark gray from his head to his feet, and he walked with a funny wobble. One of the yellow ducklings pointed. "What's that? He cannot be one of us." "I have never seen such an ugly duckling," said another. "How can you say such a thing?" said Mama Duck in a stern voice. "You are only 1 day old. Your brother hatched from the very same nest as you did. Now lined up, we will go to the lake for your very first swim." Yet the other ducklings quacked, "Ugly, ugly, ugly." The ugly duckling did not know why the other ducklings were yelling at him. He took the last spot in the line. Each yellow duck jumped in the river and swam behind Mama Duck. When it was his turn, Ugly Duckling jumped in and started to paddle too. "At least he can swim," Mama Duck said to herself. When they left the water and started to play, the ugly duckling tried to play with his The ugly duckling tried to play with his brothers and sisters too. They yelled, "Go away! We will not play with you. You are ugly, and you walk weird too." When Mama Duck was close by, she would not let them talk in this way. "Be nice," she would scold. But she was not always close by. One day, one of the yellow ducklings said to the ugly duckling, "You know what? You would do us a big favor if you just went away from here." All of them start to quack. "Get out! Get out! Get out!" "Why won't they let me stay here?" said the ugly duckling to himself. He hung his head down low. "Ah, they are right. I should go." That night, the ugly duckling flew over the farmyard fence. He flew till he landed on the other side of the lake. There he met 2 grown-up ducks. "Can I please stay here for a while?" said the ugly duckling. "I have nowhere else to go." "What do we care?" said one of the ducks. Just don't get into our way." Woof woof. Suddenly, a big hungry dog came tearing by, chasing the 2 ducks. They quickly flew up in the air, and their feathers fell down on the ground. The poor ugly duckling froze in fear. The dog sniffed and sniffed at the ugly duckling, then turned away. "I am too ugly even for the big hungry dog to want," said the ugly duckling with his head hung low. The sky turned dark. Crack! A bolt of lightning. Then came a big storm, with heavy rains pouring down from the sky. In just moments, the ugly duckling was soaked through and through. Then a cold wind started to blow. Brr, brr. He said with both wings held close to his chest. If only there was a place I could dry. All at once, a tiny light blinked far from the woods. A tiny light blinked far off in the woods. Can it be someone's hut? He flew to the door. Quack, said the ugly duckling. The door of the hut creaked open. What is all this noise? Said an old woman, looking right and left. Her eyes were not that good. Then she looked down. Ah, look at that. It's a duck. She picked up the ugly duckling and dropped him inside her hut. You can stay here, but only if you lay eggs, she said. A tomcat and hen crept up to the ugly duckling. Who do you think you are, coming in here and taking up room by the fire? Said the tomcat. Quack, said the hen. I do not need anyone else in this hut laying eggs. Do not worry about that, said the ugly duckling. I am a boy duck. Then why are you still here? Said the tomcat. Did you not hear what the old woman said? Get out of here, pretender, clucked the hen. Get out, get out, hissed the tomcat. The door was still a bit open, so our poor ugly duckling slipped out the door and back into the storm. No one ever wants me, said the ugly duckling with a tear in his eye. The storm ended. Soon he found a new lake. Looking into the water, the ugly duckling saw the reflection of a flock of large white birds flying. He looked overhead and could not believe what he saw. There above him were the most beautiful birds he had ever seen. Their long white bodies and slender necks seemed to just glide through the sky. He watched until the very last bird had winged his way out of view. He stayed at that lake all by himself, and time passed. The leaves of the trees turned deep red and gold, and then the leaves fell to the ground. Winter came, setting a blanket of white snow all over. The cold wind and the dark clouds made the ugly duckling feel even more sad. He had to go into the cold lake to fish, but it was getting harder to swim. The lake was turning to ice. One day, it was all he could do was to pat on the water to keep it from freezing around him. and trapping him in the lake. I am so tired, he said, paddling with all his might. The ice got thicker and drew closer to him. In a moment, two giant hands swept him up. "You poor thing," said the farmer. He held the ugly duckling close to his thick wool jacket and took the bird to his home. Never was a warm fireplace more welcome. For the rest of the winter, the farmer cared for the ugly duckling. Then spring came. Tips of green covered the trees. Short, bright flowers popped up from the ground. It is time for you to go to the lake to swim again, as you were born to do, said the farmer. He took the duckling back to the lake where he had found him and set him with care on the water. Yeah, I kinda agree. "Gosh, I feel strong," said the young bird, flapping his wings. "Why, I never felt as strong as I do right now." He heard quite a splashing sound behind him and turned around. A flock of those same beautiful birds he had seen in the sky before landed behind him on the water. "Do not worry," he said to them, holding out one wing. "I will go now. I will not make trouble for you." A big fat tear rolled down his cheek. He turned to go away. When he opened his eyes, he saw a reflection in the water of one of those beautiful white birds. Why was it so close to him? He jumped back, and the reflection jumped back too. "What's this?" he said. He stretched his neck, and the reflection of the beautiful bird stretched his neck too. Why are you going so soon?" said one of the beautiful birds. "Stay here with us," said another. "We'll be great friends." Then the bird who used to be the ugly duckling knew what had happened. He was no longer an ugly gray bird that wobbled when it walked. At one moment, all the swans flapped their wings and took off into the sky. "Come with us," one called back. "Take the lead." So he flapped his wings fast and took his place in front of the whole flock. All his new friends flapped their wings behind him. "Say," he said, gliding and dipping through the sky as he sped on. "Who's an ugly duckling now? Surely not I." The end. Insert mean girls meme here. So this is the story of the ugly duckling, guys. Yeah. I'm gonna have a drink. when I read this story, it's I kind of feel comfy. It's kind of like a feel good story, basically. Yeah. I mean, when I read this story, I kind of miss my childhood, basically. It's not my mom that told me the story, but maybe my teacher in my previous elementary school, perhaps. Yeah, I think elementary school. She told the story about the ugly duckling. Yeah, in class, basically. Yeah. Memories brings back time. Yeah. It kind of like take me to the past when I was a little shy. Basically. Yeah. Okay. For the next one, since you guys, want me to read a horror stories, I'm gonna change the mood into this. I'm gonna change the BGM into this, if you don't mind. But I'm gonna warm myself up with the Reddit short story that I found. If you want to read along, here's the link. It's a short one. It's not long. It's really short. Hello Wink. Welcome to the nighttime story. Yeah. Creepypasta pork. I mean, it's not creepypasta, but it's kind of like a story that people kind of tell, post it online. Basically, it's not like in beautiful language, in poetry, in a poetry, kind of stuff. It's just a simple story. So this story is about the new old house. New old house. So the story is from the perspective of a girl, of a woman, basically. Yeah. So she told the story that we bought an old house. My boyfriend and I. He's in charge of the new construction, converting the kitchen into the master bedroom, for instance. While I'm on wallpaper removal duty, the previous owner papered every wall and ceiling. Removing it is brutal, but oddly satisfying. The best feeling is getting a long peel similar to your skin when you're peeling from a sunburn. I don't know about you, but I kinda make a game of peeling, on the hunt for the longest piece before it rips. Under a corner section of paper, in every room is a person's name and a date. Curiosity got the best of me one night when I googled one of the names and discovered the person was actually a missing person. The missing date matching the date under the wallpaper. The next day, I made a list of all the names and dates. Sure enough, each name was for a missing person with dates to match. We notified the police, who naturally sent out the crime scene team. I overheard one tech say, "Yup, it's human." Human? What's human? Ma'am, where is the material you removed from the walls already? There isn't wallpaper you were removing. Damn. It's short, but kinda effective. Hello, Moon-sang, hello. What's going on here? I'm practice my English. Yeah. So this is the story of the all new old house. I love this story. What a pop. Thank you that you love this story. Yeah. Just, really short story with some sort of twist at the end. Yeah, I mean, when I watch like a movie or an anime or media in general, I love this kind of like some sort of like twist here and there. I think it makes that media kind of stand out, in my opinion. If it has a good twist, not like some bad twist here and there, like it's all a dream, blah blah blah. But if you construct your, if you make a structure of your narrative really really well, it can work. Spooky. Yeah. I'm gonna drink. Sorry. So, okay. We read like 2 stories so far, and maybe not the main story of the night, but it's kind of long, maybe longer than the ugly duckling. This story is basically about the house they used to live in. It's also in kind of like horror sorts of story. If you want to read along, then click the link and start reading with me. So I found this story from review of books. I think Chicago review of books. Yeah, it's in a blog like a thrilling horror stories you can read online right now. So I hope this one is worth my time. So the what's it called in English? I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot the exact word, But basically, this story is about, they have like a short paragraph describing the story that sometimes the scariest stories are deceptive. Beginning with bright memories and a post-Christmas drive, will show how one change in perspective can turn nostalgia into horror. The house they used to live in will appear in the upcoming book from Hat and Beard Press, Dark Black. And this is one of the story. So Here goes nothing. While on a business trip to Chicago, Jack decided to drive by the old house. They lived there 22 years. How time has vanished with the sleight of a magician's hand. Now you see it, now you don't. Jack crossed the threshold with his wife on their June wedding day in that house. They had welcomed their only daughter, Navia, into it. He had built his career as a software designer right there in that house. 22 magnificent years. Now, Navia was grown, off to medical school and, at present, a resident at Mayo. Their memories were good and precious and fleeting. People had always told Jack to enjoy it. Be in the moment. Kids grow up so fast, they cautioned. There was, of course, Jack's long cage match with booze in that house. Those memories weren't so hot. They screwed up his marriage for a while. There were fights, but he and Aisha eventually worked it out. He got a handle on his disease with her support. But soon after the cancer diagnosis came, the rounds of radiation and chemo ensued. He beat one disease only to trade in for another. But Jack beat cancer too. He was now 7 years cancer-free. As he drove to the house on Hamilton Street, it all came back. He realized, as his rental car headed north on Lake Shore Drive, that the house is like a memory vault. Everything is stored there, all of it. It was snowing in Chicago. Big light flakes falling down in constellations. The snow was pelting the windshield, the wipers thumping back and forth. It was snowing out over the dark expanse of Lake Michigan too, and all across the city. Jack drove through the old neighborhood. The multicolored holiday lights were still aglow on the lampposts and in storefront windows and on the houses. It was the week after Christmas. He drove by the park he used to take his daughter to when she was young. The swings and the teeter-totter sat still and cold in the night. He drove by the library he took Navia to when she was a child. So gently, and using the graces of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air, and he lifted the dust speck and carried it over and placed it down, safe on a very soft clover. Jack smiled as he drove down the quiet the quiet street, past the library in darkness, the lights off for the night. Do you think the library mouse is there? He hears his baby girl asking, tugging on his shirt, a long ago memory. Jack turned down Hamilton. It was dark and the snow continued to cascade down. The trees that lined the streets had grown since they had moved away, just as his daughter has grown. Jack wondered if any of the old neighbors were still around. And then he reached the house. He humble red brick Georgian with the white shutters. It hadn't changed much, not much at all. He parked the car across the street, under an amber street lamp. The lights were on in the large living room window. He thought of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving dinners and teeth under pillows with notes for the tooth fairy. He recalled coming back from school musicals and science fairs, throwing the football out in the street with his little girl and taking the training wheels off her bike as she pedaled for the first time, right where he was now parked. "I'm doing it, Daddy. I'm riding a bike," he thought about 14 years later, digging with a spade in the hard, frozen backyard on the November day and burying Bruce, Nevia, 17, by his side, were her dark eyes filled with clear pools of tears. Happy Halloween ล่วงหน้า สวัสดีนะ Hello. That house was so filled with memories. As Jack sat in the car, a light flipped on in an upstairs window. Nevia's old bedroom. How many nights had he rocked his baby girl in that very spot? She always had so much trouble falling asleep. He often spent an hour or more cradling his dark-haired little baby in his arms as she sucked on her thumb. Eye closed, Jack recalled the frustration of his little girl, crying and not being able to drift off. Sleep onset disorder. The doctor had called it. He would sing to her and sway her back and forth and rub his nose against hers and kiss her soft forehead. And only after he was convinced that she had finally surrendered to slumber would he place her in her crib, and even then, she often woke the minute he set her down. For a young dad, just getting used to the routine of patient and little babies, it was all such an adjustment. Jack would get frustrated and resentful. Parenting was hard. He sat in his car and looked at the window. What he would do to have one of those frustrating moments with his little girl again. Just one. He wouldn't be frustrated, he thought. He wouldn't be resentful. No. He would relish it, all of it. As he looked at the house and at the bedroom window aglow, a man appeared. Young, dark hair, unshaven. He moved about the room and then disappeared for a moment. After a minute, he returned. He was holding a baby. He started to sway back and forth, looking down at the delicate child in his arms. Jack sat out on the street in his rental car and watched. He felt guilty at first, watching the father and child this way. Then he felt envy. What he would do for just one more moment in that room again with his own child. Why was I always in such a hurry? Why was I so impatient? The man continued to rock the baby, doing his best to help the little child drift off. The dance between father and baby went on for 10 minutes. Jack watching outside from his car, the snow still falling. The father rubbed his nose against his infant face. He kissed the baby's forehead. Jack couldn't believe the similarities to his own memories. The cycle of life that was me 72 years ago. And upstairs, in the bedroom, the young father was tired. His baby wouldn't drift off. It was this way often. People said she needed to be sleep trained to just set her down in the crib and let her cry it aloud. And let her cry it out. But he had brought that baby into this world, and he took a solemn pledge to protect that little cherub. He couldn't stand listening to her wail, wondering where her daddy had gone and why he hasn't coming to her aid. Oh God. So night after night, he rocked her to sleep, and sometimes it felt like it took forever. And that night, while he was rocking that little child, he moved towards the window and looked out. Snow was coming down, sleepy and silver, each flake infinite in this intricacy. Holding his daughter in his arms, he pressed closer to the window pane. A car was parked outside, under the sulfur street lamp. The engine was idling, exhaust expelling blue-gray clouds from the tailpipe. The father squinted. It was odd. Through the dark and the falling snow, he swore. The man sitting behind the wheel of that car, he was looking up right at him. What? Hello, Bimsa. is kind of. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this story? It's kind of because I don't know much English, but this story is kind of like made me practicing about reading English, but but for the context, Quint. Jesus. Why I feel like something was not right. Jeez. I kinda to be honest, guy, I'm kinda confused. At the moment, I mean I can read, but sometimes I still don't get the context. But I know the Jack guy saw the father that that did the same thing when he raised the Navia, right? So, holding his daughter in his arm, he pressed closer to the window pane. Yes, sounds like a loop of time. Yeah, kinda interesting. But when I read this sentence, it kinda made me, made me chill. He pressed closer. Or maybe he just, walk, closer to the window pane, right? So basically that guy just, looked at him. I mean it just yes, I mean it's kind of like a deja vu kind of thing, but I still kind of confused. To be honest, guys. But yeah, if I have to take away about this story, so it's kind of like deja vu. You just saw the people do the same thing that you have done in the past, right? That you had done in the past. Yeah. So yeah, how mysterious. How mysterious. Yeah. I thought it's gonna be longer, but oh, it only took like maybe 20 minutes, perhaps. I think I just saw the one story that I want to read also, but I kind of forgot where is it. Oh, the story also that I want to read to you guys. Maybe one more? I think one more and I will end the stream. If you guys can take one more long story, it's gonna be long. If you want this story, it's gonna be really, really long. I think it's gonna be long. It's like maybe two. Maybe it just maybe it's not that long, perhaps. But I think the length is kind of like the previous one, but this one is kind of interesting. So okay, I'm gonna end the stream with this story then. The story is about someone has died. Yeah. So I think this is the last story that I'm gonna practice reading in English. With dying is a good story. I mean, no, but kinda. I mean, it's a good story when it comes to like a novel or maybe a story like this. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. Okay, the last story of the day. Someone has died. And disclaimer, this story contains several depictions and descriptions of death. So if you're sensitive with this kind of topic, please close this stream right now. I'm not joking, by the way. I'm gonna start now. Someone has died. Of this, I am certain. I know it because I always know it. As I lie here alone in this big empty bed and listen to the rain, I remember it as it returns to me. This feeling, this dread, skittering up and down my throat with 1,000 little legs. It settles in my stomach like a great stone, a solid, sickening weight. It is rancid in its heaviness and unmistakable in its familiarity. Someone has died. I do not know who. I sit up and I take a long breath, pulling my legs out from beneath the covers so that they can dangle above the hardwood cold where I press my feet. The remains of chipped red polish color my toes. I had intended to paint them this week, but I could not choose a color. I have been told that I am bad at making these decisions, too nervous to choose the wrong one, but I do not think that is true. Someone else has simply always been there to make them on my behalf. But I will make one now. I will call my daughter, I think. I move for the end table to retrieve my glasses. They sit crooked on my nose, and I push them back into place as I look at my cell phone, plugged into the wall there. I wait for it to ring. I stare, I expect it, but it does not. I had told my husband at one time that we should keep the landlines, one in the kitchen and one in the bedroom, for hurricanes or when the power goes out. But there was no point he had decided, no point where we had a family plan, which was expensive. But sitting here now, maybe there was a point, I think, and maybe I had not insisted hard enough. A person cannot silence landline phones. After all, not really. Not the way they do mobile phone at night. Maybe someone has called me already. Someone with the most awful news. And I did not hear. Connie does not have a landline either. She may not even answer now. Or worse, she may no longer be able to. I shudder, picking up the device. Picking up the device. No missed calls. I turned on the sound and begin to flip through my contacts, squinting in the dark. Connie will answer, I think, and she will be upset that I woke her for nothing. She will say that the children are asleep, and that she just checked on them. Howard is out cold beside her, and yes, she is positive, sure, 100% certain that she can see the rhythm of his chest, up and down, up and down. He is breathing, and he has work in the morning, and so I really should not bother them so early. There is nothing to worry about, and she will visit me soon. And we will get our chores done together. The pair of us. It must be the storm, she will say. The storm riling me up. เดี๋ยวมาดูย้อนโอเค Have a sweet dream นะรัตนะ Someone has died every 0.5 second. Yeah, that's fair. Connie has always thought I worry too much, though. And maybe I do. I place the phone back down. I will not call her, I think. I have nothing to fret over. The phone has not rung. No one has called. And they always do it so tactfully. In hushed voices, as if the most terrible part of the announcement is the waking. The oh, so sorry for disturbing you, ma'am. I stare at the phone again. I wait. It does not ring. I hover a hand over it, but I do not pick it up to make the call. I should not disturb her, but someone has died. Of this, I am certain. My father died when I was 6 years old. I first felt his peculiar nauseous feeling. The sensation of knowing, as I lay in a bed much smaller than this one, with a delicate white metal headboard, wrought into the shape of flowers. I awoke and stared at the ceiling, taking a long, labored breath and pulling the heavy comforter up to my chin. Just as I always did to fight off the wind that could fill that room in the winter months. It rattled the windows, and it rattled me, shaking my very bones as I rolled over to look at the little toy chest across the room. It had been gifted to me by some distant cousin when I was very, very young, too young to recall the party, but it had sat there for as long as I could remember, as if it had always existed right there alongside me. It now sat properly, shut for the night. But that was when the sensation came for the first time. This indisputable, terrible stone immaculate. Softly, as not to disturb my parents, I pulled myself upward to sit atop the mattress, and crawling to the floor, I crept inch by inch across the room, my hair dangling over my face. I paused above the toy box and I stared down at it. And for reasons I even now cannot dare say, I opened the lid. I do not know how my father got inside, but I saw his bulging, bloodshot eye staring up at me in the dark. The rest of his swollen features obscured and buried by the clutter, a baby doll whose unhinged eyes have broken. Forever open, a spinning top, a velveteen teddy bear, an assemblage of blocks. My father's eyes looked up at me from beneath them all. It blinked. And at last, he said my name, his voice hoarse, a hollow, splintered noise, uttered through unseen lips from the very depth of his ravaged throat. The worst noise I ever heard. Cassie! I ran, and from the upper railing, my face placed flush between the wooden rods, I found my mother standing in the front hallway, clad in her checkered nightgown. She wore her hair in curlers then, and pressed up against a dark wallpaper wall. She stared at the telephone in the alcove by the door. She stared, and I stared at her staring. And I know now that she knew, like I know. But most people can tell, I think, even if they do not realize it. They pick it up in the chilliness of the air, in the lateness of the hour, in an unnatural flicker of a piece of fabric. These tiny signs that something is amiss, that the universe has shifted. They create in a person with enough sense to see a terrible, sinking heavy feeling. And finally, the phone rang. Sometime later, my mother found me huddled by the doorway to my bedroom. I did not dare go back in. But I had retreated there to cover after a few minutes of listening. She smoked her cigarette as she told me, a nervous habit people still did around their kids then. But I already knew, of course. I knew that my father had died. I learned later, not from my mother, that a towering industrial shelf in his warehouse had collapsed, and he had been buried by its contents. And I had found him, just like that, entombed in my toy box. Some grotesque phantom vision caught, like a crude blurry snapshot of the moment of his death. But he was not there when my mother closed the shutters again that night, and he did not return. The feeling, however, had been there, this terrible sensation of knowing, the awareness of death. I had felt it then, and I feel it now. I really should call Connie, I think. I pick up the phone, and as I look down at it, my finger hover over the lock. But I do not press down. I should not bother her. Instead, I tuck the device back in place, and I rise from the bed. I rise, and as I call pale, and as if compelled, I remove for the closet. The mighty wooden armor perched right beside the window, where the rain still patters. I stare at it, and I reached out a hand, but I hesitate. I hesitate because I think that if I open it, I might find someone staring back. A rotted spectre come to visit, because perhaps it did not know where else to go. I do not deign to know the motive of decaying ghosts, and I still, even now, do not know why I saw my father that night. Only that, at his funeral, I cried because they had once again put him in a box. And maybe that was it. After all, the soul searched for a box in which to be put. Now that its fleshy container had loosed it. With the bracing breath, I grabbed the golden knobs. I should go back to bed. I should not open it. I should not open it because if I do, I may regret it. But if I do not open it, I will have to sit here and wait and stare at the phone until it begins to ring, which I, of course, know it will. And so, closing my eyes and rearing back my head, so that I might not have to look, I grasp the handles, and I tug, and the armor opens, and I dare not peek. I count to 3 in my head, and in the very back of my mind, I can see Connie now. Think of her as a child in a red dress we had bought her for Christmas. I should like to remember her that way. I should like to remember her that way, I think. Not how I remember my father. Not as a faceless, blackened eye in a box. I turn back my head. I take another breath, and I open my eyes. I see clothing, and only clothing. A closet full of patterned blouses and dresses I have so few opportunities to wear. But I will have to pick something now, in black, for the services, I think, for whichever one I will have to attend. Not that one though, but maybe this one, I decide, reaching out to run my fingers along the edges of a dark colored dress with silver buttons down its back. No, maybe not. Reaching into the armor again, I pull out a dress with a low waist, a black rose stitched on the hip. I could wear it with a long silver chain my husband bought me. I think the one with the silver charms. But maybe that would be too garish, too bold for such a grim occasion. No, I think he could wear it with my mother's pearls. They are more understated. Oh, sorry. I had known it when she died too, but she had not gone suddenly. No, not like a lamp abruptly turned out before the dark. Her own end had come gradually, like the warning glow of sunset, bit by bit, until night could be the only natural, expected conclusion. The phone rang in the middle of the afternoon that day, when I had been folding laundry, the weight of knowing in my stomach. The hospital had told us to go home and to rest that morning, and that they would call if anything changed. But something had indeed changed before they decided to tell us. I wandered into the kitchen that day to find Connie already with the telephone cord jumbled around her elbow, and I knew for certain. I should call Connie now, I think. I should have her checked on Howard and the children. No, it would wake them up. They would be upset, and really, it is just as likely to be a co-worker or someone from the church. These thoughts bring no comfort, but still, wrapped in them, like a terrible frayed quilt, I reached into the closet once more, shifting through the row of heavy clothing in search of the long-sleeved dress. With a belt. I will wear that one to the funeral, I think. It might be the proper choice because I had worn it to my husband's funeral. I was alone in bed on the night Richard died. He had been working late, as he so often did, and I had fallen asleep early, with the television on, lulled by the lullaby of commercials and rain. I awoke, as if from a nightmare, to find an infomercial about a countertop grill just starting to loop. The feeling once again took hold as I rolled over to check the alarm clock, blinking red. As I lay there for a good long while, watching my phone curled up in a ball beneath the covers, as some sports star extol the virtue of sleek design, grease traps, and easy cleaning. The phone rang at 2:27 in the morning, and it was on the third chime that I felt a sudden shift in the bed beside me. A rat, heavy breath ghosted my ear, hot and garbled. The way a person chokes, and the familiar weight of an arm stretched over to wrap round my shoulder. That count 3. The exhaling came, then, again and again, a steady, labored noise, rattling in some phantom throat. But I did not dare turn around. I wish now that I had, but I did not. I stared forward, I did not blink, and I picked up my cell phone, plugged into the wall there. Hello? There's a water in the car. Cass. Oh God, there's so much water in the car. I let out a long breath at Richard's voice, distorted by static, and all at once, the base was empty again, and only silence was ringing in my ear. A police officer told me a few days later that his little silver Ford had been caught in the sudden storm, and he swerved too hard around a bend in the road. He had died from a collision when the vehicle hit the water, they had said, and the drop was too high for any other possibility, of course. So at least he did not drown. Something said to me as if it were a genuine comfort. And he had not been conscious to see the water filling his car. They did not find his phone. Oh God, I should call Connie. I cannot take this anymore. Turning from the armrear, I moved once more for the bed, for my telephone still plugged into the wall, perched there on the end table. I stare and it rings, and I scream. I can't recall, even from where I am now, that it was a full horrible noise heard from the very depths of my stomach, as if I were finally letting that terrible great stone out, the one that had been sitting there within it. It echoes from the very core of me, but I do not answer the phone. My neighbor in the apartment next door is a nice young man. He has shaggy hair and an earring, and he checks in on me from time to time. She handled hard things 3 times. 3, yeah. God. I stir him from sleep with my wailing, and he will. A few moments from now, come to knock on my door. I do not answer because I am picking up the telephone to see that I have missed a call from Connie, and checking there in my dark bedroom as he knocks. I decide to dial her again. My neighbor will call the police. He will tell them that he heard me scream a little bit after 3 in the morning. And he will tell that same story still, for many, many years to come. Whispered around darkened tables and across the occasional campfire. The police will call Connie, and she will tell them that she had been lying awake all night herself, tossing and turning with a great heavy weight in her stomach. She will tell them that she had called me when she could no longer bear it, but I did not answer, even though her own phone will ring a few seconds later. She will answer it to hear only her own name. She will say, uttered desperately through a flurry of static. But there will be no record of that call, and they will not believe her, citing technical glitches or trick played by fear. And when they break down my door, they will think I had fallen asleep with my armrear doors open and my glasses on the floor. I had not. but they will find me just as I found myself, blue-faced, breathless, covered still by the mold of blankets in my own empty bed, where I had lain for many motionless hours by then. Oh. Someone has died. Of this, I am certain. Someone has died. And oh God. Oh God. It is I. Oh, sorry. And that's the end of the story. Of the someone had died. Someone has died. Yeah. Let me have a big fat chunk clap. Yeah, clap for the Lonnie Russell that provide this story for us to read. Yeah, kinda twisted at the end, right? So she experienced 3 deaths, right? Jesus. And the last one is hers. Oh, my throat. But to be honest, guys, my throat is kind of scratchy at the moment. I have to spray. I forgot that the force is herself, yeah. What an experience. I think this stream is kind of refreshing, you know, because I haven't done like story reading like out loud in English before. Yeah, I think a really long time. Okay, I'm gonna change the sound now. Okay, I'm gonna change this to for sleep. Okay. Okay, from now it's gonna be free talk session. Killing by her thought. Yeah, maybe her thought just, you know, freaked her too much, and you know, she covered her body in that blanket. Maybe the story is too long, maybe for the stream, because like it took me like, you know, maybe half an hour, right? Jesus, it's too long, maybe. But for me, I have a good time. But I think it's not, you know, it's not work well in the stream like this. I think maybe I will, you know, bring more like short, more like short, you know, short stories to practice. Yeah. Maybe next week I'm gonna do the English stream, but I haven't planned about what I want to practice. Maybe I will do the South Sudan, I think. But the thing that in my mind is like I want to do the South Sudan in English, because I think I think like for me, honestly, I think the way to improve my English is to just try to speak, try to speak from within myself. All right. Try to speak not with the help of like maybe games, maybe maybe a story like this. I have to bring my English out. I have to bring my English out, not from like some other contents. I have to bring it out myself, so I can improve. Maybe, or maybe sometimes I have like a English learning stream like this, but not storytelling like this. I maybe have like some session that have like a short stories for you guys if you guys enjoy a stream like this. But for me, I think like it's not good enough for me. Maybe the story is too long. Yeah, it's too long, and I think honestly it's kind of boring. But I try this stream. I try, and see if it suits the stream or not. But for me, I think it's not. For maybe next time, I'm gonna bring more like short stories, so I can talk to you guys more. Yeah. Is it raining right now in you guys home? For me, it's raining right now. I see. I hear the rain sound. I love that writer Bill's story of how her had anxious from what she lost 3 people. Yeah, was bombed by her father and can't pick or choose anything, and in the end she just killed herself by her thought. Yeah, I will chat with you. Yeah, me too. It's raining. Yeah. Take care of yourself,นะครับ. Yeah. So okay. I think it's the end of the English week. Maybe this week is kind of like a torture to you guys, and I'm so sorry about that. But I try. I want to try new things. I want to try speak more English. So I dedicate myself for like 1 week to stream in English. So I hope you guys still happy with my content or not. If not, I'm so sorry about that. But I try. I want to try. I want to try this. Basically, I want to try this. But for me, I want to do this sort of stream in English in the future. I really want to do this every week. So expect me to speak more English from now on. Yeah. Every week we're gonna have like an English day. Maybe English day, Yeah. So the main content for the English stream mostly is about like South Sudan. I'm gonna mostly do the South Sudan. Yeah. So expect more South Sudan in the future. Yeah, the free talk stream. Yeah, because I haven't done like South Sudan for a long time, really long time, except for this week, right? I haven't done like a South Sudan for a long time, so I want to speak to you guys more. Yeah, maybe in Thai, maybe in English. Yeah. So I'm gonna remove the pin. I'm gonna change my language now. In 3, 2, 1. Oh. Hiya. Hey. Hello. Hello 1 2 3 โอเคครับก็ จบไปแล้วนะฮะกับ English Week นะครับก็ว้าวอังกฤษทั้งสัปดาห์เลย I love this content practice together break your limit be better ใช่ใช่ใช่หลักๆคือKaenอยากจะดีขึ้นนั่นแหละอยากจะพัฒนาภาษาอังกฤษให้ดีขึ้นน่ะคือKaenอยากพูดคล่องอะไรคล่องขึ้นใช่เพราะตอนนี้Kaenยังพูดไม่ค่อยคล่องนะKaenอยากจะพัฒนาภาษาอังกฤษตัวเองให้มันดีขึ้นนั่นแหละครับก็อย่างที่แพลนไว้ก็ที่แพลนไว้ก็คือจะมาแบบจะมาไลฟ์เป็นอังกฤษสัปดาห์ละครั้งเนาะอะไรอย่างนี้ก็จะเป็นฟรีทอล์กอะไรพวกนี้คืออย่างที่Kaenแบบว่าเคยคิดไว้ก็คือKaenอยากจะดึงภาษาอังกฤษจากข้างในแบบให้ได้ใช้ไงนึกออกปะไม่ใช่แบบว่าอะไรนะเล่นจากเกมอะไรเงี้ยแบบเล่นเกมไปคอมเมนตารี่ไปอะไรเงี้ยหรือว่าแบบอ่านในเรื่องแบบอย่างนี้ไปอะไรเงี้ยKaenมองว่ามันอาจจะยังไม่มากอะไรเงี้ยไม่รู้ดิอันนี้ส่วนตัวที่คิดไว้นะ ก็เลยแบบว่าอยากจะแบบเน้นเป็นแนวแบบว่าไลฟ์ซัสดันนั่นแหละก็คือเป็นไลฟ์ฟรีทอล์กแบบว่าขุดอังกฤษในตัวเองออกมาอะไรเงี้ย ให้ได้ใช้มากขึ้นพี่เก่งก็ไม่ขนาดนั้นยังต้องปรับปรุงอีกเยอะอะไรเงี้ย เราก็อยากปรับปรุงให้มันดีขึ้นอะไรเงี้ยแหละนะก็วีคหน้าก็จะมีภาษาอังกฤษอีกแน่นอนนะถ้าใครชอบKaenในแบบฉบับภาษาอังกฤษก็เจอกันวีคหน้านะฮะวีคละครั้งแต่Kaenดูอีกทีนะว่าจะเอาวันไหนอะไรเงี้ย นะครับก็สำหรับวีคนี้ก็หมดแล้วเนาะโอเคก็ใครที่แบบว่าอิดโรยแบบว่าโอ้ทำไมสูถึงว่าวแต่อังกฤษนะอะไรอย่างงี้ทำไมอยู่สูไม่ว่าวไทยเลยโอเคบิ๊กถัดไปก็จะกลับมาพูดภาษาไทยแล้วนะฮะ นะฮะคือพอฟังออกนะแต่ไม่รู้จะตอบอะไรไม่เป็นไรแง่วัดีธรดาเลยนะวัดีนะมาจบตอนที่แบบว่าเราปิดภาษาอังกฤษพอดีเลยเยี่ยมเราน่าจะได้คุยกันรู้เรื่องเลย พอฟังออกแต่ไม่รู้จะตอบอะไรใช่ไหมก็ฝึกจากKaenก็ได้ก็เป็นว่าเราฝึกกันวิละครั้งเนาะอะไรเงี้ยแต่ละตาที่อยากจะฝึกอังกฤษด้วยอะไรอย่างงี้ก็เดี๋ยวเรามาฝึกพูดคุยกันแล้วกันเนาะฝึกพูดคุยกันเป็นภาษาอังกฤษกันเนาะวีคหน้าเดี๋ยวมาดูวันอีกทีนะก็จะเน้นเป็นซัสดันนั่นแหละเน้นเป็นไลฟ์อังกฤษแบบว่าเน้นเป็นฟรีทอล์กอะไรพวกนี้นะฮะคุยสเปเฮดละบลานะฮะดวงดีมาก ก็ไม่น่ามีอะไรแล้วเนาะคิดว่ามีอะไรเมาอีกไหมนะไม่รู้จะเมาอะไรแล้ว ยังคิดในหัวอะไรไม่ค่อยออกอะไรเงี้ยก็เอาเป็นว่าขอบคุณทุกคนที่อยู่เป็นเพื่อนKaenตั้งแต่ต้นไลฟ์จนถึงตอนนี้นะฮะขอบคุณมากครับขอบคุณทุกคนที่บางคนอาจจะฟังอังกฤษไม่ค่อยออกแต่ก็ยังอยู่กันจนจบนะฮะก็ขอบคุณมากนะครับ thank you so much for sticking for thank you so much for sticking with me till the end from the beginning to the end thank you so much ขอบคุณนะครับก็วีคหน้าเราจะมีอะไรเพิ่มเติมก็ไว้รอดูได้เลยนะครับมีไลฟ์อังกฤษอีกแน่นอนนะเราจะยังไม่จบอังกฤษแต่เพียงเท่านี้เราจะมีอังกฤษในทุกๆวีคนะครับสวัสดีครับพี่ชายสวัสดีน้องโซตะมาดูนะฮะสวัสดีครับก็ถ้าใครอยากจะมาฝึกอังกฤษด้วยกันวีคหน้าก็เดี๋ยวเรามาฟรีทอล์กมาเม้ามอยกันต่อเป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะฮะ สวัสดีก็เอาเป็นว่าขอลาก่อนนะครับก็อย่านอนดึกกันละแต่แม้ว่าพรุ่งนี้จะเป็นวันหยุดก็เถอะนะก็อย่านอนดึกกันละเอาเป็นว่าฝันดีนะครับไว้เจอกันสัปดาห์หน้าตารางเดี๋ยวออกมาอีกทีนะครับฝันดีและราตรีสวัสดิ์นะครับฝันดีมากๆนะตาทุกคนฝันดีเต้านาดาฝันดีเต้าระดาฝันดีเต้าอิงฝันดีเต้าโซตามาดูด้วยนะฝันดีนะครับ Oh shit ลื เพลงแปดชัดอีกแล้ว